Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. You're watching Speedway Nostalgia. I'm Josh,
I'm Caleb.
and we're bringing you one more episode honoring the memory of Kyle Busch, who lost a couple weeks ago. And we want to also thank Circle B Diecast for sponsoring today's video. They provided us with this awesome car from Nashville that I absolutely love. The more I look at the car, the more I fall in love with it. And this was Kyle Busch's 100th win, which was pretty spectacular. Looking for Oh yeah. Well, we're looking forward to this episode because again, we love honoring Kyle Busch, but before we do, obviously these guys have been taking really good care of us. They've been super nice to us. I told Caleb, I said I committed that if anybody ever sponsors us or anything like that, I will not endorse anything that I don't believe in, I don't uh, agree with, or even like. And before they ever sent me a thing, this is the first thing they ever sent me, but I enjoyed going to motorsportsauctions.com. And remember, we would just sit and watch the auctions. I'd get so mad. Well, at the time, I didn't know, like that first one, I think it was, so I waited and waited and waited for about 20 years to get my hands on the Dale Jr. 2001 EA Sports 500 race version. And I remember the first time I bid on it, and it was coming down to the wire, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait till the last second. Never been on this auction website. And I bid on it, and then automatically increased like 45 seconds. I thought, what?
Yeah.
And it just kept going up and up. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. So anyway, motorsportsauctions.com, just really good. But I also want to say the Whatnot app as well. Jonathan on there is always going live, ready to take on the next project. These guys, their customer service has been great. I'm obviously not the best advertiser, but I'm doing this on the fly mostly because I don't script this stuff. I just enjoy it. But I'm telling you, motorsportsauctions.com, Circle B Diecast, Plan B Sales. And as I mentioned last week, what Brent, the owner, done for the Busch family, they did an auction. The auction raised $11,000. Brent said that's not good enough. He raised it to the nearest 5,000 and donated $15,000 to Kyle and Samantha Busch's charity, Bundle of Joy. So just good people, good all around. Their customer service is excellent. I just can't say enough about them. I'll probably talk about them a little bit more, but this win right here was a pretty cool win. However, it was a fast forward from 2009. And that's what we're going to open with today is in 2009. I know I told you I was going to let you open, but
Hey, go for it.
this actually, it rolled right in perfectly. Yeah. So this was at Nashville, but one of my picked moments from Kyle Busch was in 2009, his win at Nashville. He decided it was going to be a good idea to smash the guitar. However, everybody knows and everybody remembers the guitar smashing story. But the press conference a little ways afterwards, Kyle Busch had some very funny things to say about Dale Jr. fans, who I am one of. So
is that insulting to you?
Well, I went back and watched it. After I watched it, I remember watching the interview a long time ago, but I thought, I cannot believe he said that. So anyway, enjoy a little double dose. You're going to see some footage from the guitar smash, but you're also going to see the press conference I'm talking about.
I never thought it would get that much attention, but certainly drew the ire of the fans, and it is what it is. So I thought it was a neat idea to share the guitar with the whole team, and in the spirit of rock and roll, smash it up, bang it up, whatever. A lot of people enjoyed it, thought it was different. Sport's not so vanilla. A lot of people hated it. I guess those are the ones with 88s tattooed on their arm.
One other quick...
Or maybe still 8s. I don't know which.
You and Junior, dude. Let's switch gears to Pocono.
I ain't got no issues with Junior. It's his fans that are crazy. But that's all right.
Okay, so I don't have any tattoos. But growing up, if I probably would have had an 88.
Yeah.
Actually, probably 83, because 83 was always my number, and I always put, the whore and all the thing together. But
sorry, your feelings.
It did. Even going back and watching it hurt my feelings.
Somebody said Chase Elliott fans are crazy, which Hamlin kind of said that once, but
They did.
yeah,
He might have took a page out of Kyle Busch's book on that one.
they probably did. But Kyle
So-
Busch, whatever he thought, he said.
So what'd you think though? He says the ones, I think the ones throwing a fit about it are the ones with 88 tattooed on it, or an 8, and then he points. I'm like, so the stereotypical redneck, a bicep tattoo.
Yeah.
He points right to the bicep. I'm like, man. I'm like, no wonder you're getting booed, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he enjoyed the booze. I mean,
Well, it's just like,
he brought that to us. So
you know, it's funny because Dale Jr. was talking about Kyle, and he said that Kyle hated being the villain. He hated getting booed all the time, but he had
Really?
to embrace it.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if you're, and that's what an entertainer does. Kyle Busch was an entertainer
Mhm.
and a good one. And
Definitely.
the whole comment about Dale Jr. and everything, it's been very obvious they made amends, and he was actually going to drive Dale Jr.'s late model.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But Kyle Busch hated being the villain.
Mhm.
And when Junior said that, I thought, man, but when you see him with his daughter Lennox and his son, especially with Brexton,
Yeah.
you see that soft side of him come out a lot, even with his wife.
But it's really only with his family. On the racetrack, he is
Oh yeah, he's
like
all
he's the
business.
same Kyle Busch. Like you mess with him, he's gonna repay it back about 5 times worse.
Like that an honorable mention here, but whenever he said, if you don't like that kind of racing,
Just don't watch.
so that probably leads us into our next one.
So it's between Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson. We're at Fontana for the Overton's 400, and the battle between this is before Kyle Larson really was that big of a driver. He was in the 42 car, now with Hendrick Motorsports. So we go to 1 to go, and these guys are battling it out. You're fixing to watch it now.
Take the lead away.
Slide job! Almost.
The momentum. The 18.
Contact.
They make contact. The 18 into the wall. They're side by side again. Going into 3 for the lead. Larson has the advantage. Here comes the 18. He puts the
Oh,
bumper to
my
the back
goodness.
of him. The 18 into the wall. The 42 sideways.
Where's Harvick?
Here comes the 18. Kyle Busch will win.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my man. What a race. What a great race.
That's what it means to win in the Monster Energy Cup Series.
Never give up, guys. Never give up.
Look at the thumbs up, though. Look at the thumbs up. Respect. Yes. That's good racing.
Okay,
Slide jobs.
that was my favorite part out of all. And he said it like 3 times. It's so loud, too. And passed him.
Slide job.
And
Slide job.
they're side by side battling in the wall. Busch is to the back of Larson, knocks him loose. Larson's in the wall. Busch takes the win. And you see Kyle Larson drive by with his thumbs up, just good racing.
Mm-hmm.
And what you said earlier with if you don't like that kind of racing, just don't watch. That is great racing right there.
Oh,
I love that racing. But it was funny too.
Well, it was, and y'all go and watch some of the shorts that I posted this week about Kyle, and also even posted on Instagram. Go check us out on Instagram. But that kind of racing that you're talking about, but at the Bud Shootout where Kyle Busch, he gets sideways, saves it, goes sideways again, sparks and fires coming out, he saves it again.
Yeah. It's
And
just awesome.
That's racing,
Mhm.
and that run with Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
And I mean, in all honesty, now, and I think most people were booing because it was cool to boo Kyle Busch.
Uh-huh.
And I think that was one of those moments where it's like, you guys are going to complain no matter what because it's me.
Mhm.
So he's like, y'all don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to him on it.
Yeah,
because
I almost respect that. Like, if you don't like it, just don't.
well,
Don't
here's the
watch,
thing:
you
is
know?
everybody that day booing was doing it because it was cool to boo him because everybody loved that
It
moment.
just established, like, all right, this is reality, I guess. Like,
Because that race between Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch was epic.
awesome. And Busch knew exactly what he was doing. He got to the back of Larson and just knocked him loose. Like, he didn't crash him. He just knocked him loose, and Larson wasn't able to hold on to it. But
Well, and speaking of being a villain, this is probably peak Kyle Busch villain we're gonna rewind into the Wayback Machine a little bit. We're gonna go to Texas, and Kyle Busch early in the race. Kyle Busch and Ron Hornaday are gonna start racing each other, and they're gonna get into each other. They're gonna get into the wall, but Kyle Busch wasn't done. Kyle Busch was furious. In typical Kyle Busch fashion, caution's out. They're slowing down. Kyle Busch runs up on Ron Hornaday and knocks the daylights out of his truck, taking both him and Hornaday out. And you hear his pit crew basically tell him, don't do it. Stop, get off of him. And then the crash happens. Enjoy.
Turn 4, that moves Kyle Busch all the way up the racetrack. He has to catch it, avoiding the wall, and Hornaday catches the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Caution is going to come out. Both drivers trying to get by. Looked like the 17 of Timothy Peters. They slid up the racetrack, and now Kyle Busch not happy at all.
It's all good, dude.
And Kyle Busch is going to turn the 33 into the wall. Championship contender Hornaday in the wall.
Well, Kyle Busch should be parked for this race and maybe the rest of the season for that. Holy cow, I can't believe he did
Championship
that.
contender Ron Hornaday hard into the wall. Kyle Busch sends him in.
That was probably the peak of Kyle Busch bad guy. And the reason why was, I mean, he was a hothead. When he was young, he was a hothead. But on that one, he ended up getting parked for the race. He got suspended from the Truck Series for the rest of the season. He also got parked because he was going to run the O'Reilly Series the next day and the Cup Series, and he got parked for all three races.
A lot. But I mean, you can't really blame NASCAR because it's kind of funny watching it now. But their caution's out, and he just completely shoves them into the wall, and it's just, man.
And that's one of those things. It was funny. It wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. You know, because you look back
and those they were mad about it. They're like, that he should be parked for the rest of the season.
I think everybody got mad, and I even think, and I don't know, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, but part of me thinks that he has since apologized about that. You know, for that situation. But I mean, again, in his younger, you know, for me, when you think of Kyle Busch, for me, I always think of the mid 2000s, because that was his rookie year in 2005 and moving on up. But Kyle Busch exploded in the 2010s. That was when it was the Busch era.
Yeah.
You know, those earlier years, he was good, but he just exploded in the, 2010 up through 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the Busch era.
Winning constantly and really at every track. He was just good.
And
it almost reminds me of how Denny Hamlin is. Right?
Oh, yeah. And one fun place to watch Kyle Busch is Bristol.
Yeah. Well, we got a good one because the 2022 Food City 500, it's a dirt race, and Darrell Waltrip is announcing there with Clint Boyer and Mike Joy. But these two guys, Tyler Reddick and Chase Briscoe, are battling it out. And, of course, they're sliding all over the place, sliding in the turns because it's a dirt race. And Kyle Busch is running a pretty distant third. And you're going to watch. It's pretty entertaining what it took for him to win the race. But here's the video.
By Credit One Bank. Here it comes.
Back, white flag, still inside.
One chance.
He lost his nose a little bit on the 8. He's right on him.
He's there. This
Will he go for a slide job? This is it. There he goes.
Here you go.
In for it.
Down to the bottom, slides up into him. Who's going to save it? Neither one. They both spin out. Kyle Busch and Kyle Busch is going to win barely. Steals one.
Holy cow. Tyler Reddick.
So coming on to turn 4, or turn 3 and 4, I guess. Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe. Briscoe dive bombs it in there because he knows that's the only way I'm going to possibly win this race. He does good, but oversteps it. They both get sideways on turn. So the announcers are saying who's going to straighten it up and who's going to get it, because the start-finish line isn't very far from off the turn. And about that time, you see Busch whipping around, and him and Tyler Reddick barely edges it over Tyler Reddick. And Busch definitely wasn't the one to win the race, but I don't know, watching him wrap the turn like that and sealing the win was pretty cool.
So I got one for you that I haven't discussed with you, and I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Boy.
Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Darlington pit road. Does it ring the bell?
It doesn't.
So they have been. I think it's 2011. I'm almost positive it's 2011. But they're in and out of it on the track, and they're peak rivalry at this point. And they're back and forth. Well, coming on the pit road after the race, Kyle Busch parks right in front of him, and the typical. Then Kevin Harvick backs up. Well, Busch circles around. I mean, this is all like right here in that little short vicinity. And then Kevin Harvick goes down pit road a little ways, stops the car. Kyle gets right on his bumper. Kevin, who is furious at the moment, he gets out of his car. So Kevin gets out of his car. He's throwing his stuff down. As soon as he steps out of the car, Kyle Busch pushes Kevin Harvick's car, and it goes and pushes it, and it just rolls into the pit wall. It just goes driving right past for me.
You got out Kevin Harvick well.
I mean, it was, but again,
that's so funny.
That was bad guy versus being super creative.
And Harvick's going to put the steering wheel back on.
I think Harvick was getting ready to hop out of that thing. I think somebody must have gotten to him.
Wheels off again. Here he comes.
He says, okay, this is enough. I'm going back here, and we're going to have a little talk. And there goes his car. That car just took off.
Race car drivers are athletes, but they're very smart and they're very talented. Okay. They know how to operate a car, and they know what cars are going to do.
Yeah.
So that was basically using it to his advantage.
Yeah. And it worked.
I've always been the thing, if you got a problem with somebody, y'all get out of the cars and go do it. I mean, that's a 3,400 pound machine, and it's, several millions of dollars to operate one. Leave the equipment alone. But when I went back and watched that, I could not stop laughing. I was like, okay, that's just funny. Like, that was just funny. Hilarious.
And it's so creative.
And he waited until he got out of the car and then just pushed his car and just kept
please
going.
Get out of the car, please. Man, that is funny.
And, losing Kyle Busch, but one of the funnest tracks to see him at was Auto Club.
He was so good there, and that's where he got his first win in the 8 car there.
Yep.
But one is one of my favorites. I got it written down. It was the Auto Club 400, and it was another one of those. Busch was riding third. Nowhere. I mean, he was in the mix, just wasn't for the win. It's Denny, Hamlin, and Joey Logano. These guys are battling it out for a few laps. We go to 1 to go down the backstretch, and this is where the action happens.
I am not surprised. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but I'm not surprised.
Okay, so on to turn 3 and 4, Hamlin is they're battling it out. They both tangle together, and they both go on the wall. And you can see both of their cars just turning. And about that time, Kyle Busch in his 18 double mint car, I think it was, wraps the corner once again. And they, of course, the fans are going nuts. The announcers are, excited for him. And, Busch won the race. But Busch, he had so much skill. But then again, he was there at the right time in a lot of races. And, that's where a lot of his victories came in. Plus, Busch was always there in the mix, too. He was, like I said, he's like Denny Hamlin today with running in that top 10, top 5 area. But yeah, that was my top 3 favorite for this episode.
There will never be another Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch was nothing but pure talent. Whether you liked him, whether you hated him, whether you was a fan, whether you was a foe or an enemy, you can't deny his talent, and you can't deny his love for his family. And really, what can you ask of a person? Love your family and do your job. And Kyle Busch did both of those.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch brought NASCAR to a level that it needed. when NASCAR was really losing fans, it was those people like Kyle Busch and other drivers, but really like Kyle Busch, who kept fans coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And as a fan, from a fan standpoint, I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. He's entertaining, and like you said, he was the leader of his family, and he brought so much to the racetrack.
Mhm.
He kind of balanced it out for everything, and I respected him a lot. And all the drivers that I've seen do interviews about Busch, they all had one thing to say: it was they respected him.
Yeah.
And he was just a respected guy around the racetrack. Definitely later in his career, he just had that, I guess, charisma almost of
Oh yeah.
respect.
Oh yeah.
And the guy he'd been doing it long enough, you can ask him questions about, your career and stuff.
NASCAR, you know, it is so weird. 25 years ago this year, Mike Hilton made the announcement, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
Mm-hmm.
And in that speech, he said, NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever.
Yeah.
And then along came Busch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can literally say, with 234 wins and was still active, NASCAR lost its greatest driver ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Busch, there's, you try to find, like, the thing to say to make it all link up. But I think, really, Busch, that was his career. He was a winning driver. And he was a successful driver too.
Mhm.
And that's definitely what everybody's going to remember Kyle Busch for: his talent, his leadership with family, and his wins too.
Mhm.
And I would agree with you, Busch. I think everybody knew Busch was the driver, I guess, in this time period.
Right.
They respected, the winningest, and yeah, NASCAR definitely lost something great.
And so did the Busch family, so did the drivers, so did the fans. And although we move on to different subjects, and although that we move on as fans, you're going to just like with Dale Earnhardt, you're going to slowly see the threes on lap 3 slowly go away. But I believe 25 years from now, people will still talk about Kyle Busch like they do about Dale Earnhardt now.
Definitely.
And, we are thankful. We're thankful that a driver came along like Kyle Busch. And just because we move on to different subjects does not mean that we forget about who Kyle Busch was. There will always be a piece of the puzzle missing. And if there's one thing as a fan that I could say is we support the Busch family. We support Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox. We pray for them that they'll be able to heal and move on. And in that grieving process, that they'll find peace. I know that Samantha's her faith is really strong, which I respect that. But at this point, and we say goodbye to a NASCAR legend. We say goodbye to I mean, you might as well go ahead and call him a Hall of Famer.
Definitely.
But we say goodbye to probably one of the ones who deserves a face on NASCAR's Mount Rushmore. And in the words of Mike Helton, I think that pretty well sums it up for Speedway Nostalgia this week. But until next week, you be good.
You be better.
And you be best. And we'll catch you next week on Speedway Nostalgia as we finally cover the Jeff Bodine wreck from year 2000. Enjoy this final tribute to Kyle Busch, and we wish you all the best. Enjoy the clip.